It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
This is Straight Talk with an native Greg Penn, the preacher man, and his sidekick Shannon Jones. Frank discussions of issues affecting the ATL, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, the nation, and around the world. And now, here they are, live and in living color, the team of Jones and Fan, the preacher man.
Well, welcome to Straight Talk with you, to the Greg Fenton, the preacher man, and Bishop Rollin Tate. Hey, Ron is not with us today, and of course, you know, vacation time is getting ready to get back to work, to school, and well, we had a great program last week. We did, and I apologize to Tate and to Ron because didn't record it. But we did have a great show with Dr. Anthony Martin, the pastor of the Lindsay Street Baptist Church here in the city of Atlanta, Georgia, and also a part of the program, what I'm talking about. He's a member of the People's Agenda with Dr. Joseph Ekalari. He was the founder with Helen Butler and others. Well, I hope and trust you had a great 4th of July.
Yep.
You did?
Yep, it was good.
Oh, and thanks for the invite.
Yes.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for the invite. Would have come, but, you know, we already had plans and everything, but thanks. But if you want us to come by this Sunday.
Sunday. What's going on Sunday? We'll be grilling, I tell you that. What's going on Sunday?
But y'all get ready for, I want to just make this announcement while we're here. Y'all getting ready for the Holy Convocation.
46.
46 for the United Church of God in Christ.
46th Annual Holy Convocation. Temple of Prayer.
Temple of Prayer. You want to go ahead and tell them about it a little bit before we get into some program?
Tuesday night, I don't know the dates. It'll be on the 19th, it'll be the 20th. The 20th through Tuesday through Friday.
Right.
On Tuesday night, we will have a consecration. There will be 2 bishops getting consecrated. On Wednesday, our supervisor of women, Mother Benita Kelly, will be keynote speaker. On Thursday night, there will be a board member from the Church of God in Christ will be speaking. On Friday night, be official night. Our presiding bishop Senior will be preaching. All the services start at 7 p.m. There will be day sessions. You can go to our website, www.ucogic.org. That's ucogic.org, and you can get a schedule on all the events that will be taking place. And it'll be 161 Sonoya Road in Fairburn, Georgia. We're about 15 minutes from the airport.
All right, then. I plan on being there on that Friday night, official night, to hear Bishop Lackey bring the word. I mean, I've been part of coming to the convocation ever since Bishop Lackey was installed as bishop down at the Old Royal Theater downtown.
So we'll get you a special seat.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate I appreciate a special seat. I need just a special seat, not just a special seat. Yeah, I think Bishop Blunt he's one of those nights.
It'll be Tuesday night.
Bishop Blunt, Tuesday night. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I just, you know, I'm really thank God for the work that he has done as being the presiding prelate for the United Churches of God in Christ. He's a dear friend of mine, but I tell you, he has really blessed him to build that organization and sustain that organization to be worldwide. So if you can make the convocation at 161 Sonoya Road in Fairburn, Georgia, we'll be getting next Tuesday through Friday. Right?
That's right. Yep.
So, all right, and look to see me. I'll be there Friday night. But don't tell anybody Greg Fan, the preacher man. I might slip in there.
Should be there every night.
All right, let's get into what we want to talk about tonight. Talk about Donald Trump and his desire to appoint another one of his crooners as the Attorney General of the United States of America. Yep. Todd Blanche. Yep. Another one. Todd Blanche.
Another one.
Well, she helped him down there. Todd, he helped him with his case in New York, and which didn't work out too good for him. Had 34 indictments. Now he's looking for him to become now the Attorney General of the United States of America. That I tell you, there is a move in this country where people are seeing him, but then they see him for what he's doing, but yet they are still allowing it to be done. And I'm listening to some of the questions from some of the senators, and they asked him, would you be Trump's lawyer or would you be the United States lawyer? Would you be still Trump's personal lawyer defending him or coming up with ways for him to be able to do things that is against the Constitution? They're not feeling him. And
what are they responding? How did they respond?
Well, his response is just like Bert Kavanaugh was. Bert Kavanaugh said he was not a Trump lackey, but I don't know if he hasn't proven that to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Barrett has been more on the other side and than any of them. That even the Chief Justice Roberts, and he didn't appoint Roberts, by the way, but him and Bert to Barrett and the other gentleman, I can't remember his name, escaped right now, but Kavanaugh was the one. He was a drunkard. You remember they were the drunkard and everything. And he said that no, he was going to rule by the law and the Constitution. But
these guys, Trump is, I think, guys, and this may not sound good. This may not play.
It's straight talk, man. Straight talk. It's straight talk.
But a lot of Trump people, guys can relate to them because guys typically may say whatever needs to be said at a given time to get what they want. And even it used to didn't be like that. It used to be that you would really try to keep your word. I've heard on these talk shows where they say when you go through confirmation, say what's needed. Tell them what they need to hear so you can get confirmed. Even as we went to, was it Roe versus Wade? When they said, oh no, we're never going to overturn anything that's already in place. Oh no.
Yeah, but they said.
But because Trump understands that your words mean nothing. It's just a means to get you in the position. And once you get in the position, now we can do the damage. Is this Project 2020? What is it?
2025.
Project 2025? It could not be. Perjury? No, they're not worrying about perjury. They are saying whatever is needed to be said to get confirmed. And once they are confirmed, and now they could do the damage. And they have senators. I know you're not telling me the truth, but I just need to hear you. Just tell me what I want you to say. So when you tell me what I want you to say, and it's 47 to like 53, I think, something like that. And then you got Fetterman. He's going to vote with them. So they have enough anyway. This is just for the records. I asked the question. You answered the question. So now when the confirmation comes up, it's 54 to 46. You got confirmed. You're in. What? And Trump Trump's mind, why tell the truth? It doesn't matter with him. The end justifies it. We just need for you to get confirmed. That's it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, just tell any lie. Just tell a lie. Just tell a lie. Tell a lie, that a good lie that they can believe it. Just tell it.
Yes, they know this.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hear it, you know it's not true.
Right. And they know it's not true.
But the record says, when they asked him, again, they even asked some of them, when they asked the question about, did Trump lose the election in 2020? No, well, Biden was declared the winner, and they're not going to answer the question. And guess what? They're going to get affirmed. It doesn't matter.
Was that a riot or insurrection in the Capitol?
Same thing.
Those people just touring the Capitol.
Don't believe what your eyes saw. Don't believe
they were just touring the Capitol, and that was a tourist.
Don't believe what your eyes saw.
You mean to tell me the people that were running out of some people were running out of the Capitol because they were trying to get in, that they were on a tour? Yes, see, I was trying to get to my next appointment.
Don't believe what your eyes see, because Trump select people who understand the assignment. He does not have to go and give you, because he doesn't do memos. Now, he's not going to write you a letter. He's not going to call you. You understand the assignment, because if you answer wrong, that's going to be a problem. Wrong answer. Wrong answer means you're not going to get confirmed, meaning that I have no more use for you. See you later.
Well, one, he doesn't have to send memo. He sent lackeys. He sent the lackeys to tell him what to say.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. He didn't have to. He has his lackeys that do that job. He has the advances and those people that do the job.
But you have to have someone who understands the assignment. Again, we talked about previously the first administration versus the second administration.
Right.
He's not going to make that mistake again. The first administration, he tried to be a president. He tried to get things done through experienced bureaucrats, and they were rebuffing him at every phase. No, can't do this, can't do this, you can't do this. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to do what I want to do. The Senate is not going to stop me because they are afraid, and it's not enough in the Congress. That's what he's done.
Well, I'm going to run this country like it's my private country.
Most definitely.
That's what he's saying. And going back to this whole thing of what you just said, but you got people who voted bipartisan to pass a bill to deal with housing and homes issues that would take people and get people to buy houses and get people out of the street, and so living in the streets and stuff. Trump don't care. And to take it away from these, and I talked about these Airbnbs. We got all these Airbnbs. You got people that really running their whole business is buying houses just to have Airbnbs to rent out. And then what do we have in our neighborhoods? Airbnbs where people are fighting and having parties and all of this stuff, and creating a nuisance for our community. What we live there, but you got weekend people that coming in there rent Airbnb just to be able to have a party. It's a party house in our neighborhood.
Right.
And so it's disturbing the neighborhood. It's creating crime in the neighborhood, right? So, I mean, all of these things, and you got these, and they're buying up whole neighborhoods too, houses, and raising the prices of houses on them, or sitting back and being investors, just investing on the property, waiting on the things to go high so they can sell high. They bought low but sell high. Man, but Trump know all of this. And he knew that's why they was passing, because they needed something to go back to take to their constituents that they got done in this session, that they haven't got anything done in this session. Neither the Democrats or Republicans. No bill was passed that benefited American people. Not one bill that I could see that was passed that benefited American people. So maybe I don't know everything, but really I don't see any benefit that happened for the American people other than Trump, Supreme Court, did say this, and that wasn't a bill. They did rule that, hey, you can't take birthright citizenship from people with the stroke of a pen saying this is an executive order. Okay. You know, so I mean, but that wasn't a bill, but that was one of the good things that did come out of the Supreme Court this session. That's the only good thing that I see, because you done gutted everything. You know?
Okay, so let's go back to the situation with the housing.
Go back to that. Let's go back to that.
Well, so you said that the housing, what you see on the ground, Airbnb, crime, parties, all of these issues that they're having. Well, Trump is isolated from that. Trump wants the SAVE Act. He wants the SAVE Act because he wants to make it difficult for a certain segment of the population to vote. Now, some of these people have to understand who pushing for the SAVE Act, who's pushing for Trump. It's going to impact you too, sir. You too, ma'am. However, because he's saying it, and you're thinking it's only going to impact brown people, do you have a passport? Do you have ID? So I won't get into that now. But what he's doing, he's saying, until you give me what I want, I'm not going to give you what. He's not looking at what the people want. He's looking at what you want. So as the Congress, as the Senate, you want this so you can take it back to your constituents and say, look, this is what I've done. And he's saying, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to give you that satisfaction until you give me what I want. And so he will play politics with people's lives, with people's living situation. He will play politics because it does not impact him directly, nor anyone in his immediate sphere. So that's, if you want to say that's hardline negotiation, that's your business model. But you cannot run the country as a business. And that's what he's doing. And so the senators, those who are, and the Congress people, they allow it. Why? Because with the stroke of a pen or with the keyboard tablet, he can say, I endorse you. And you came back. But if you vote against this, then he won't endorse you. And guess what? You got someone in the community who would say, Trump, I will do whatever you want me to do. Please endorse me. And that's why you see a lot of his people did win. They beat some incumbent because those are the ones who told him, I will do what you want me to do.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I hear exactly what you're saying. And I understand what you're saying. But I also understand there's a God factor in this. You know, Trump can do all the things that he wants to do, all the dirt things he wants to do. But there's a God factor in this. The American people have fell into what the Bible calls faithfulness idolatry. Okay. Unfaithful idolatry. They're unfaithful. They're unfaithful to God. They're worshiping a wicked king. They're worshiping money. They're worshiping materialistic things. They're worshiping all of these things, and that's why we're falling into this spiritual idolatry where we're turning our back on God and worshiping an individual. That's what caused nation to fall, because of their idolatry and worshiping a man and following the dictates of a king. Sure. So Donald Trump, his fall is going to be great, and those who follow after him, their fall is going to be great too, because they're not understanding the God factor. It's a God factor in here because God is in control of everything. So Donald Trump is just a mere man, and he can only do what God allows him to do. Right. But those things that are happening to us is because we have, as a nation, turned our back on God, following the spiritual idolatry of a man who does not believe in God, who do not worship God, who do not serve God, but serve his own self-serving interests, because he thinks that amassing wealth, a lot of money, that's going to make him who he is or leave a mark on his name. His name is going to be known as great and all of that. But let me say this. I mean, this is scripture now. This is scripture. This is scripture. When the man had that great harvest that year, you know the story. You know, listen, he said, man, he said, I'm going to tie my old barns and build new barns. And he said, I'm going to eat, drink, and be merry. And God said, fool your soul is going to be required of you. So all the things that Donald Trump is doing and those who are following him, this is what we call spiritual idolatry, being unfaithful to God. And people say that they believe in God. And these people right here saying, we not believe in God. I mean, I go to church. I mean, I'm a faithful member of church. I do all of these things. But yet you're worshiping and running after that dollar, that almighty dollar. And that dollar will perish. He says, store out no treasure on earth where moths and rust does corrupt, and thieves and robbers will break through, but throw up your treasures in heaven, where your Father is, you'll be there also too. And people say, well, why should we wait on God? Well, because he is in control. We have to trust him that he's going to work things out. And I think what you said, and I'm going to turn it back over to you. I think what you said is there are some people who are there in Congress, and there are some people that's there in the Senate that went in there to do the right thing. They went in there to do the right thing, but they got caught up in, the money and being invited to this affair and being invited to this and being invited to that and being on the TV or whatever they were doing. That made them in their mind as being successful. Because a lot of them went in there. They went in there to do the right thing, but when they got in there, see, when you're in a bed of demons and thieves and still people do it, search anything, then if you're not strong, you're going to fall into that. You're going to fall into that. So it takes a strong person to stand up. And, when I look at our forefathers who fought for us as a people, when I look at them, it took people who had real courage to stand up to do what was right and to fight for what was right. Thurgood Marshall, who was a justice, whose Clarence Thomas took place, who stood up in the midst of all the stuff that was going on. He stood up for what was right. I mean, he wasn't perfect. None of us were perfect, but he stood up for what was right. And we look now and see all the stuff that was fought for, that people stood up for, that we're losing. Right. Because we have people that's following a wicked king.
And Bishop, I want to go back to the religious piece of it.
Okay.
And the Bible, people, when they do certain things, most people have a text, a scripture that they are using based on their interpretation. And whether or not it's our interpretation is right or wrong, we can have that debate. A lot of evangelicals,
oh God,
they see Trump as sent by God. And they are equating Trump to King David. King David had issues, King David, all of this stuff. They equate him to Paul. Paul did all these crazy things. But the difference is those gentlemen repented.
They did.
And when they were, someone told them, hey, you're wrong. You're on the wrong track. Created me a clean heart. Renew the right spirit in me. David did these things. But when Trump and the evangelicals, when he does the things that they want done, pastors had slaves. Pastors, churches took advantage of the least, lost, and the poor, as you call them. Mm-hmm. So this is not like Ecclesiastes. This is nothing new.
Right.
So these pastors, they are giving access, like you said, access to the White House. They're giving access to things that they normally wouldn't get. So what we do for Trump, we pray for it. So when he does things, what do we say? Pray for him, which we should pray for him.
Sure.
We should pray for him. But when he goes out and make these crazy statements, I'm praying for him. they're not leaving him because still he's good for their business. Church, there's a business. You a pastor, you know, there's a business side of the church too. And so he does things that help some of these pastors. And so they look past his faults because through love and kindness, we have to love him. He doesn't know these things. So we love him. And then he's a lover of Israel.
What we know we're going to do, we're going to come back to that because that's going to take us back to what I was saying earlier in terms of nations who turn their back on God. We'll be back on the other side with yours to the great fan, the preacher man, and Bishop Tate. And hey, listen, a couple of things I wanted to share with you before you go to the side to hear me see. Don't forget what we say about gun control. Watch where your guns are. Teach your kid to stay away from guns because people kill, guns don't kill, right? And know where your children are. Do you know? Don't leave it up to the grandparents.
Hi, Miss C here with your 3-minute news blast, or more or less. The Children's Soar invites you to their school supply drive on Saturday, July 25th from 11 to 3 p.m. at Liberty International Church, 1362 Metropolitan Parkway in Southwest Atlanta. Your donations of school book bags and other school supplies will help to support students in the community prepare for the upcoming school year. To donate supplies, volunteer, or get more information, you can send an email to tcsinc@thechildrensoar.org. That's tcsinc@thechildrensoar.org. The South Fulton, Georgia alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi presents their annual alumni cookout Saturday, July 25th from noon to 5 p.m. at Sandtown Park, 5320 Campbellton Road in Southwest Atlanta. There will be food, music, fun, games, and good vibes. And family fun, too. All are welcome. Restoration Church of Atlanta at 4168 Redan Road in Stone Mountain, Georgia, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. You can call 678-772-2233 to get more information. And if I talk too fast, just rewind me and I'll say it all again, okay? Anyway, listen, I'd like for you to do 4 things for me. I'd like for you to like us. I'd like for you to subscribe to us, and those little buttons will be right down on the front of your screen. And I'd like for you to leave comments and let us know how we're doing. And also share us. Don't keep Straight Talk News to yourself. Let everybody know what you know. We are Straight Talk News. Well, I'm Miss C, but we are Straight Talk News. Okay, and listen, you know, we're living in some strange and scary times, and I know sometimes, I wake up, I don't know what to expect, and you just hear a lot of stuff going on, but we have to stay prayed up. But I just want to tell you one thing that we are reminded is that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Now that comes from 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. Okay? And listen, in the meantime and in between time, may the Lord God bless you real good. Love you.
I was in my parents' room.
I was just playing ball. I was in our garage.
And I found a gun.
But I knew what to do.
Stop! Don't touch! Leave! Tell an adult!
Go for it.
All right, we're back. He said, go for it, go for it. We're going to go for it, too.
Let's
We're
go
gonna
deeper,
for it.
Bishop.
Let's go deeper. One of the things that when you look at the book of Kings, and we look at Abraham's seeds, right? Kings came into place. Why? Because the people wanted kings. They wanted a ruler. They wanted a man to rule over them. They forgot about the God factor. And that's what we are, because we have totally relied on the political system of individuals in the political system to do our bidding for us, but God is the one who do our bidding for us. We don't seek him. We so relied on a system that's a political system. Well, we got so-and-so here, we got so-and-so here. Well, where's the God factor in it? You see, that's what the missing link. And when we talk about our ancestors, one thing about our ancestors, they feared God. They feared God. They feared God. And they taught us to fear God. So there's no real fear of God anymore, because we're too busy looking at the tangible things that others have that we want to have because they have, right? But how do they get it, and how will they keep it? I use this scripture. I oftentimes talk about Job. Job is an ideal person in the Bible for me. That when Satan, Job was one of the wealthiest men. In today's time, he would be an Elon Musk. Okay. He would be a billionaire, trillionaire, because he had all the cattle, all the sheep, all the land. He had everything. He had beautiful family, children, and everything. He had servants. He had everything. Beautiful wife, all of that. But Satan came to him and, and said, ain't got nobody to try. We'll try Job. Try Job. So when we tried Job, they came and took Job's. First, he took Job's wealth from him. Then he took the thing that he loves, his children, from him. But Job said, these things God gives, but God gives and God takes away. He did not get angry with God. He did not get caught up on those things, but he stayed focused on his faith in God. Even when his wife left him, his friends turned their back on him. His Elon Musk buddies who came to see him, Bazemore and all them guys came to see him, and talking about, Job, you down on your luck, man, you look bad. But even at that, Job still didn't curse God. He stayed faithful to God. And so when you're faithful to God, America, when you're faithful to God, then God restores you. And he restored like he restored Job. He gave Job more than he had at first. We just have to turn our back to be faithful to God, because Donald Trump is just a season. He's just an instrument being used by Satan. We can talk about him all day long, but he and those crooners that with him, they just instrument to be used by Satan. But God is still in control.
Well, we talk about the government.
Right.
And whether or not we are a nation run by God, all of that. But when we look at the Bible, before the king were judges.
Yeah. True.
And in God's perfect will, it will be theocratic. And actually, some of those nations are more theocratic. Some of them are still theocratic, where they are actually governed by God, where they have these rules and chop your arm off and all of that stuff. They run like Sharia. They run like Old Testament. We're not there. We're away from that. We're not kings. We're not monarch. So we have a government that run by two parties. So we have this system in place, and our laws should be compassionate. And when you're compassionate, then you have the tenets of God. But as I stated earlier, they think they are
God.
Because not necessarily God, but they think they're doing God's will.
No, they think they're God.
Because
they want people to serve them. They don't. When you.
But some people do.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Yeah.
But see, what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let's not get the country as a whole versus individuals. Because you said a good thing.
What's up?
This is a season.
Right.
And I saw on an interview, they asked, I think it was the governor of Ohio. They asked him, now, if you became president, would you erase the things that Trump did? He said, in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that he's done, names on buildings, all of that, they're gone. And what these people have to understand, if you have put your trust in a man, I don't care who the man is,
Right.
that man is going to go.
He gonna go.
And I say this, death is undefeated.
It's definitely undefeated.
It's undefeated.
It
I
is.
don't care who you are. It is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. One day, Trump is going to die. I may die first, but he's going to die one day.
He is.
And so if anyone is worshiping him, they're going to have a problem. And that's when our leaders, our preachers, and our pastors should come and say, even some pastors, a lot of pastors say, do not worship me. Don't worship me. Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't, because it's a jealous God.
Absolutely.
Don't do it.
Absolutely. I say that.
Don't do it.
Right.
But see, Trump don't understand that.
Sure.
And as I said earlier, a lot of these pastors use him because he's good for business. You know, we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When if you have stocks, you have portfolio, he's good for business.
Mm-hmm.
And for these 3 or 4 years, you get it. But the way he does things, do you care more about how he does it, or do you care about results? And a lot of people don't care about anything but about results. And that's where we, in this situation where we're in, where these politicians, they'll do anything and say anything to stay in power. And he understands that. But there's, I always say, absolute power.
Corrupt, absolutely.
So when you put these people in power, and if they get there when necessary, that's a corrupt person.
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier. A lot of people get in there. That's not their intention, because you know they get there and they get caught up in it.
But you've seen people who have resigned.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was just going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people who said, "Hey, this is not for me."
Right.
You know, and that's what I was saying. When I said earlier, there were people who said, "No, I mean, I can't do this."
Right.
I mean, FBI agents have joined.
Right.
We got people, the
Most
CIA,
definitely.
and the other people said, "No, this ain't. I can't do this." Well, his last administration, there were people who said, "No, we can't do this. We can't say this." Generals and all those other
Most
things.
definitely.
They were saying that. See, if we had experienced people who understand the God factor, we wouldn't be in this holy war.
Most definitely.
We wouldn't be in this. This is a holy war that America is now in. And we talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about that. Because those are family folks over there that's feuding. They're not just, it's like, if you and your sister was to get into it, and I jump into it, the next thing you know, you and your sister gonna be saying, what you got to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So they'll come together on, y'all will come together on me. It ain't my fight. Some things you got to know that is yours, and some things you got to know it's not yours.
See, my understanding that Israel has tried many administrations to get involved in this.
Right.
And they've all said no. Trump sees this as an opportunity for a lasting legacy with his name. All he wants to do, if he could go to Israel and Iran and sit between the person in Iran and the prime minister in Israel and have them shake hands and he in the middle and take a photo op, that's all he would want.
But he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing with Putin
But he doesn't care about the fallout.
Jesus.
But that's all he would want, because that photo would live forever.
Well, let me just tell you what he wants. Let me tell you what he wants in this fight, right? Because he left the fight that he was supposed to have been eliminating with Zelensky and Putin.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I could do away with the one that they want.
Again, that's just saying. That's just talk.
I know, but I'm just saying is people. I'm telling you, see, people forgetting. They're forgetting this rhetoric, right? Okay, now he got us in another fight. Now let's talk about that. Remember what he said when it was about the Gaza Strip with Israel and Palestine, right? He said he wanted to build a hotel on the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
That goes back to your point, his name, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to build a hotel on the golf course on the Gaza Strip. Now, he got in the war with Israel. This is just Greg Fan opinion. He got in the war because Netanyahu Yang, or whatever his name is, you know what I'm talking about, the president. He said, okay, that's what you just said. The rest of the people didn't get in it. They didn't get in there. None of the president, but because he wants his name to be known,
Sure.
He said, okay, I'll get in it. If you're gonna give me the Gaza Strip to build me a hotel, I'll get in the war. So now we're in a holy war because of a deal that he's cut with the president, and he cannot stop the war because the people in Israel are still bombing the people in Lebanon, their own family and other stuff, but they're not going to end that war, and we're in it.
Yeah, we're in it. And when your motives are selfish, you don't care about the fallout. Trump was told that this wouldn't take long, but he does not understand the resolve of the Iranians. He doesn't understand the resolve of people who would die for their country. These was the R East, the RC, that guard for Iran. They say we will starve our people before we surrender, because he doesn't understand the sacrifice. Now that's not good what they're doing, but that's where they are. And Israel, they know these guys not going to give up.
They're not going to give up.
They're not.
They're not.
So what Trump was doing, every 8, 9, 10 days or so, he would come out on Thursday or Friday and say that we're getting close to peace. That was for the stock market, because we wanted to hear positive news. That was for the weekend. And then 2 or 3 days go by and we go like, nothing has changed. And the gas prices would creep back up, because he understands communication. He understands if you just put the word, well, it doesn't have to be true.
No. This sounds like it's true, but it ain't true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I want to empty this room and I say the building's on fire, we all leaving.
Right.
My motive was to just get us out.
Right.
Doesn't mean the building's on fire.
Right.
And he understands that. And so he says these things. And with this war, the Gaza Strip, all of that was just to try to a lasting legacy. We was in Dubai, I guess about 2 years ago, and there was all throughout that country, their prime minister name was on buildings everywhere. But they loved the guy. They loved the family, because all the money that they gave, he put back into the city.
Right.
They loved him. Everywhere you go, his name was on the building. That's what he wants. But he doesn't understand the next president is just gonna erase it. He's gonna, like they took his name off the Kennedy Center.
Right.
That's just, but that's narcissism.
Oh, he's definitely narcissist. Ain't no doubt about it. He's Richie Rich. He's Richie Rich. He ain't never had to worry about nothing. He's always been catered to. And he used his position to use people. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. And if we look at certain people who have been very, very vocal in politics.
Okay.
We don't hear the outcry like we used to hear coming from certain people. Now, I watch CNN a lot.
Okay.
I watch CNN and I watch the government channel and watch some of their debates and what have you. I don't see them doing a whole lot of like they used to talk, in terms of issues, unless they're grandstanding to the camera. because I don't see them bringing it back to the district. I said that earlier. See, if you want people to know what you're doing, you coming back and you're meeting with people, you're talking to people about what's going on, what's the issues. Not coming telling people we need for you to do this, we need for you to support. This is what you want us to fight for. Then this is how you can help us fight for this. So we don't have a whole lot of that. And I was saying about the late Vincent Ford. Vincent Ford, he fought for homelessness. He fought for that predatory lending. He fought for all those things that affected people. You know what I'm saying? And when they went the hate crime bill, he fought and other things like that. He fought for the people. He stood for the people. And when he saw that the challenges were in that demon dome that he was fighting, he would come and tell the people about what was going on.
So where did you hear him? Because when we talk about CNN and we talk about, you don't mind me putting the station out, let's say WAOK.
Right.
AOK is a AM station.
Right.
They are part of a bigger conglomerate, and I don't know what type of signal they have. But CNN is just not going to get into the local issues unless something bad has happened.
Right.
But who are the local activists? And if they are out there, who has that channel for them to get their message out? Where is it? WCLK? They used to do it. AOK? WSB is going, they are national.
Yeah, they're not. The mainstream network is not really covering a whole lot of things.
Yeah, the local cable companies aren't there anymore.
Yeah, so what you're doing is you have a lot of podcasters like we do that's getting out information and talking to people and sharing things with people, things that they did know or didn't know. But the reality of it is but the politicians, those people who are really concerned about getting their message back to the people, they have budgets. They have opportunities to send newsletters to their constituents. They got a list of their constituents. They know who they are when they're running. Okay. Don't they? Don't you get a vote for me when they're running?
Well, I didn't get a lot of local. I got it from the governor.
But I'm just saying but they got that list of every registered voter in their district. Okay. Every registered, whether you run for city council, whether you run for commissioner, whether you run for state house, whether you run in federal,
So is it a budget issue?
It's a lack of doing it. And getting with people to get the information out. I'm going to NACP is working right now to try to get membership up so they can get messages out about what they're doing and the work that they're doing. They're not on the TV. They're not trying to grandstand on TV. David King is not. David Means is not. He's the president now. He's not. He's going around and he's dealing with this group. He's dealing with that group, this group, that group. And he's letting people know this is what we are. This is what we need. We need membership. We need to raise our membership. We need to get money so we can put the message out.
So do you think because the ones who were before us, because even on the national level, there's no John Lewis. Maybe I don't know of a John Lewis or Jesse Jackson. What's the guy in Al Sharpton? Good or bad, reputation, good or bad, whatever they do.
Everybody gonna have something good to say.
But we know, I guess Crump is the one now. If there's some injustice done, you'll see him.
Right.
But are there any other who would show up and say, this is not right, I'm going to take the heat? I don't know, because do we think we've grown beyond that? Because we have the CNN, the MS Now, the Fox, the ABCs, whatever channel we look at, that we're getting our news from there. Do we not need an activist anymore? Of our pastors Are those the ones now? You know, you have mega churches. Some of their pastors, they talk to their community, to their members. They may not be at the mall, but you got 20,000 members. Maybe that's what you're going.
Well, let me say that there's an old adage: each one teach one. This platform that we're on now is teaching people that what the issues are, and some people may be aware, some people may not be aware, and some people may not even care,
right?
Because they feel like it didn't affect me, and so why should I be concerned?
Right.
If they came for me and they got me, and you were the only one left, you think they're gonna leave you alone? Because the whole thing is to get rid of everybody. It ain't to get rid of, you said that a few minutes ago, it's to get rid of everybody. How you empty a room? Fire, fire, fire. Right. And it ain't no fire, but everybody running.
Right.
But somebody gonna stay and look to see if it's really a fire before they run. But they hear what you're saying, but they like, okay, but where the fire at? And now they just ain't gonna run because you said it's a fire.
Right.
Right? So what you have is, you have some people who gonna move out because of what somebody say. You gonna have some people who gonna dig and find out for themselves. And you got some people just really don't care.
And you got a point there. And I wonder, have we, and you can define made it the way you want to, whatever made it means, but have I made it? And if it means I have an apartment, I have a 40-hour job, I have a car, I have 2 children, they in public school, they doing fine. And someone else may look at that and say, that's not making it. But then you have to look at where I started from.
Right.
Because if I started in homeless shelter and I saw mom and dad on drugs, so I got a wife who's not on drugs. I got a child who's doing, public school. We're not talking about private school. And they go to, it's 2026. I got a 2023 car.
Right.
It's not repossessed. My car notes on time. And we get to go to the Golden Corral and eat on Sunday. To me, I made it. So maybe we made it, and not, when we learn to be content, not necessarily saying we satisfied, because some people, they're never.
That Donald Trump, he never satisfied.
Yeah, some people never. And so if that person feel that, hey, I made it, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, I'm good right here. So I don't know.
Well, I think complacency and apathy is what destroys us as a people, because we're complacent and we're apathetic, and we want to blame Obama because he was the first black president and he didn't do anything for black people. The reality of it is, in life, is that you can't put your destination on any one man or any one person.
Right.
You have to get up and do what you need to do for you. There's an old saying that you say, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Ask not what other people can do for you, but what can you do for yourself? Yeah. So I put my trust in God. I believe God that he will provide everything that I need to do the things that I need to do.
And I think that's what some people are. They're not going to let their heart be troubled.
Right.
They trust in God. And even with that, we have to qualify that, because you can trust in God, but you can still participate in the process. And some of us, we trust in God because God's never failed.
Right.
I was once old, now I'm young. I never seen the righteous forsaken, never see the feet bread. I get all that.
Right.
So I don't go vote because God gonna handle it. And some of us are there. We that's where we are. And whatever happens, It's all in God's control. It's in God's hand. But then some of us are on the front line. And we're voting. We're pushing voters registration. And we're trying to get people to go out and make a difference. I can't tell you, Bishop, I know the right answer.
Well, I can tell you this. When it hit your doorstep, you have no one to blame but yourself. Especially once you've been told. It's just like your mama and them told you, don't run with them boys, they're going to get you in trouble.
Right.
And you said, oh, they're my friends. You know, it's going to be all right because they're my friend. They're going to look out for me or whatever. But when trouble came, they left you hanging.
Right.
And your mother, and now you're in trouble. And your mother said, you said to Mama, I didn't know. And somebody made me do it. She said, no, nobody made you do it. You did it because you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Now, when trouble hits your doorstep, then you got two decisions. Either you're going to accept it and change, or you're going to keep on going down the road to failure. Because you're going to keep on either going to jail or you're going to end up dying.
Right.
Those are the choices. And that's the same thing with you can be enslaved again, or you can be the walking dead. So that's up to you.
Yeah.
That's a choice people have to make. We can't make people do anything. We can only tell people what they need to know. As a preachers, we can preach the word of God, but people are so focused on having things, and they're putting the things that they get above God. God is the giver of every good and perfect gift. So we need to thank the blesser and focus on the blesser and not the blessing, because man will give it to you today. And this evening he'll have his hand out and say, give him back what I gave.
Sure.
You know, so if you're not willing to stand up for what is rightfully yours, what your forefathers and grandparents fought for, and I think you said at one point, or someone said at one point, that their granddaddy and grandmama didn't get a chance to vote. They didn't get a chance to vote. Because when they got the right to vote, they were dead. Right. But my grandmother, both of them got a chance to vote. They lived long enough to vote. And one thing my grandmother said to me, and I'm going to say this and we'll close. Okay. She said to me when she was dying, and she said, Gregory, the Republicans gonna have y'all back in the soup line. And she did not lie, because she had lived long enough to see how the Republicans would do. And she did not lie, because when I look at what we went through with the pandemic and the food, and who was in those lines to get it, right? It wasn't just poor black people.
No.
It was poor people again, because they did not care.
Poverty has no color.
They don't have no color, man.
Sickness has no color.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But listen, we hope you enjoyed the program today with Bishop Tape and myself, great fan of Preacher Man. Hey, listen, don't forget to put them guns up. Put them guns up and make sure you talk to your children about it. If you can't give a life, don't take a life. And love your neighbor as yourself. And not think about we're living in the hood. No, you're part of a neighborhood. Until next week, this ain't been nothing but Straight Talk with yours to the great fan of Preacher Man and Rollin Tate. This is nothing but what? Straight Talk.
Want to be a guest on Straight Talk? Email Craig Fan at FANN922@Comcast.net or call 404-308-0795. Join us again for another episode of Straight Talk with Shannon Jones and Greg Pan, the Preacher Man.